Welcome to Lupo's Kitchen. We have two different formats on this channel. You have a quick form video if you just want the down and dirty recipe. This is the long form where we enjoy ourselves, have a lot of laughs, and it's like dinner and entertainment. So stay for the whole thing and enjoy all the jokes, or you're just not cool. Today we're making summer rolls. These are vegan, they are oil-free, and they're also gluten-free. It's a great way to get some raw vegetables in you if you're not a big fan of eating raw vegetables. This is the consistency you're going for when you finish your sauce. Should look about like that. So we're going to start with 3 to 4 tablespoons of any sort of peanut butter powder. We like the PB Fit. You're going to put this until the consistency looks right. So start with like 3 and then sprinkle in a 4th. So there you go.
And this is very...
Now you'll add, I'd say the hardest part is probably just getting the water right. You're going to put in between 1.5 to 2.5 tablespoons of water. So, oh, don't look at our dirty sink. There we go. We have the little filtered water. Yeah, that's right. We're bougie. But I don't trust drinking any water. Are you kidding me? Like regular water. Ew, so you can taste all the chemicals in it now. Which kind of makes me upset if I think about it, because like every drink we buy from the store or anything like that, you know they're just using like
tap water.
Yeah, just unfiltered.
Just chlorine, fluoride water.
Yeah, and all the dishes we buy that have water in them,
So that's
the sauces, all that stuff, it really ticks me off. And we've gotten to the point where we have to start making every single thing we eat because we can't trust the food anymore. You know, a few years back you could kind of trust something when it was organic, or you could trust something a little bit, and I just don't. The more
lucky for them, we're going in through and doing all the work, so it'll be much easier.
Yeah. What do you mean by that?
Simplifying the recipes.
Oh yeah, we got this down where we can make this in a few minutes now. It's no big deal. So about the same time as you microwave something, you can put together sauce and make this.
But
make a
again,
choice.
like the soy sauce, where did that come from?
Yeah.
What water did they use? What did they put in the? I mean,
right. All these sauces
it's just
are chemical fluoride water.
All right.
That's anyway, on a happier note.
That's about the consistency.
That's the consistency you want, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's about the hardest part. And then we go to a 1/2 tablespoon of sweet chili sauce. It's sweet.
It is sweet.
And it's full of chili. I used to watch Chili Willy the Penguin as a kid. Anybody remember that? Leave it in the comments. It was part of Hanna-Barbera's. So for you guys that are really young, 1/2 tablespoon of, go with gluten-free sauce or tamari sauce, soy sauce. That'll keep it gluten-free for you. And the hardest part here is 1 to 3 drops of lime juice.
I like 3 because I like the tang from the lime.
Yeah, if you like a lot of lime and tangy.
So it's a little less than 1/8 of a teaspoon.
And we're catching it in a teaspoon, so this would pour out and get out of hand. Anytime you use lime or lemon, it's a good idea to catch it.
So that is about 3 drops. Maybe a little more.
Yeah, it's powerful, so be cool, I say.
And then also, this is optional, but we like it.
So you're going to add, let's see, what is it? A 1/2 tablespoon of maple.
1/2 teaspoon.
Teaspoon, I meant. Teaspoon, not that one. Teaspoon. You know, someone should have named these different. I always think that was a bad decision. Like, one should have been named, like, 1 small spoon and then 1 large spoon, not table and tea. This is so from a different world. Do you remember, I would say, probably up until the early 2000s, that you used to get cubes, sugar cubes for your tea? They weren't in packets, they weren't in satchels. Like, there was a stack of cubes that was dried by the weather and moisturized. Well, sorry, they were all stuck together in one big cube.
Yeah, they had gotten humid and stuck into a crystallized.
It was like the board.
I remember
they had a bunch of chips that stuck together.
My brother used to take them out of the dish and just like take the whole thing and stick it in his mouth. And my mom would come, "Where's the sugar?"
But you used to be able to use cubes, and that would count as a tablespoon, right? 1 cube was a tablespoon, if I remember right.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. In the comments, one of you old folks like us, tell us if you remember baking back like that. I will say what's cool about modern baking is we can get anything you want. You'd be like, oh, I need flour made of cassava. Oh yeah, we can find that on Amazon.
Oh, I need coconut sugar for this recipe.
Yeah, like smoked paprika. Like these things didn't exist. You couldn't just get them.
Well, that's why people went to restaurants, and that's why restaurants had to up their ante so much to get people to come in.
Up their game. So this sauce is really delicious. You'll probably need more than this. I would double it. That's a little thin.
This is good for like one person.
Maybe add a little more powder. I don't know. Do you think that's too thin or not?
No, I think it's a little thin.
So that's a little thin, like I'm hoping to be by the end of the year. I want you to refer to me as a little thin. Actually, the weight loss has gone good. We've gotten serious for over a month. And I would say I'm about 3 notches down on my belt.
Sunday will be 6 weeks.
Really?
Yes.
It's gone by that fast?
And we have not eaten anything processed, except for sauces.
Yeah.
But no burgers, no
we
cheeses.
made everything. And the weight has come off surprisingly fast. And our energy levels through the roof. I wake up and I work all day. Where I used to be dragging out of bed and couldn't sleep.
Couldn't sleep well.
That's a sign of an inflamed brain, by the way. If you guys don't know that, what happens is you're eating food that is, especially processed food, there's so much just like hidden seed oils and God knows what else is in there, that it keeps your brain inflamed, and that will keep you not be able to think. It'll give you brain fog. It'll cause you to stay up all night, wake up and down. It'll cause you to be moody and cranky.
There we go.
There you go. For you guys don't know, I used to work at a functional medicine clinic. I also worked as a guy that would look at the blood work, and we worked with some of the best doctors there, right? And one thing we noticed is inflamed brain was like 90% of the problem with kids. They would be drinking them sodas and eating school food and all this stuff, and holy cow.
Oh yeah, school lunches are the number one cause of I don't think it's ADHD, I think it's just brain inflammation. Yeah, it could be the same thing, I don't know.
So the way it works is inflammation causes all these things. I'm just going to scale it down for you, but inflammation will cause a behavioral issue if a certain part of the brain is weak. You'll get dementia. If a certain part of the brain is weak, you get Parkinson's. If a certain part of the brain is weak, you'll have symptoms of bad memory, So it's going to affect kind of like the weakest part, and it'll show up that way. And so children, they usually have such awful guts because of the American diet that their brains leak too, and it's literally an inflamed brain that they can't turn off. Wow, there is a large cat out there. I don't know if you can see him, but that looks like a puma. Where is he? There he is.
Oh wow, what is he doing out here?
That's the one that Izzy had the run-in with. They turned around the corner at the same time and looked at each other. Anyway, just want to point that out. So yeah, now we've learned something. I hope you enjoyed this. This is why you guys tune in, because we'll just do a slow roll and tell you stories and have story time. And hopefully you enjoy this while you're cooking. I feel like we have a podcast now. I'm going to start doing ASMR and talking like this. I'm going to say... She thought she was making peanut butter sauce, but instead she was making liquid love. Grandma made the best sauce. Stick with us on This American Life. Something like that. I don't know, I gotta work on my podcasting.
Yeah, you gotta work on your ASMR voice.
Oh yeah. So we'll do some ASMR for you guys. This is what it sounds like to stir. You guys getting hits with that? Look, our view count just jumped. Is ASMR still a thing? Do people watch that stuff?
Oh yeah, it's still huge.
I thought that was just a trendy little thing that disappeared.
No, Zoe and I still watch it, I think.
Speaking of Zoe eyeballing us. Yeah, that's right, I caught you.
Just me watching you guys.
Hey, can you grab that box in the back of the yard?
I did.
Thank you. So we've been having crazy winds, and the back of our yard looks like a homeless guy's alley. There's boxes everywhere.
We're gonna get a naughty letter.
Yeah, our HOA hates us. By the way, never live in an HOA. We hate it. It's the worst. Anyway, on a positive note, our sauce is done. Let's eat. So these are the rolls you want. Even though they call them spring rolls, we're using them for summer rolls. There's basically rice paper wraps. And then you've got mung beans, which are bean sprouts, I guess. We've got mixed coleslaw and chopped green onion. And we also got a pan of pretty hot water, right?
Warm to the touch.
And this is for the wraps. You'll see how this goes together. Go ahead. And our dog's chasing his tail. Go ahead. Now you're not doing it. As soon as the camera's on. So there's a guilty party. And you're going to be like, why do they keep having hair ties all over the floor? It's because of that cat. She loves chasing these things. Look at that.
Let's go in for just a couple seconds, just enough to get them wet.
This reminds me of the old photography photo dunks. If you guys ever grew up before digital cameras, this is what you had to do with your film. You dunk it and dry it, and dunk it and dry it, and overexpose it.
And then cabbage.
So we're just using a cabbage coleslaw mix. Is that what we're doing?
Yep, because it was easy and cheap.
Yeah, it is a time saver. Bean
and
sprouts.
then instead of noodles, I use bean sprouts.
This
Because the sauce blends out the flavor, you just don't even notice, so way less calories.
We always try to cut calories where we can. I mean, we're not big calorie counters, but we know that bean sprouts are probably a lot more healthy than noodles.
Yeah.
That crunching is our dog eating, so just ignore that. That's not us.
Alrighty. You fold over the ends, fold this up, and it just gets rubberier and rubberier as you go.
Burrito style.
And burrito style. And that's that.
I bring this up because, honestly, I don't eat enough salad, even though I should. I know I should, but I just sometimes get bored with salad. So this is a great way to get raw vegetables in your diet without feeling like you are. Because the sauce makes it magical. You eat it and you're like, oh.
Although if we have taco mix, you will eat salad every day.
That's true. I do love tacos. You know how they say it in the Midwest?
Tacos.
Tacos. We love tacos. So if you guys are from the Midwest, you can give us a thumbs up or down for that. If we're saying it right. Tacos. It's this easy. And really, this is kind of a dish that you can do with your favorite vegetables, but it's also what we call a clean out dish.
Yeah.
Like whatever vegetables are starting to get shady in our fridge, wind up in here.
Same with dumplings and egg rolls.
And traditionally, if you guys didn't know, stir-fry rice was like the leftover trash rice that
It's the refrigerator omelet of Asia.
Yeah, people are like, "What's in stir-fry?" Whatever they had, and it was like leftover rice from the night before, and
fried rice was literally just.
and so they used to sell it to Americans, and we started loving it, and they're like, "Oh, well, you guys love our trash dish here. That's a gourmet thing, and it's $8." Actually, I haven't bought fried rice at a restaurant. It used to be the cheapest thing you could get, but I have no idea.
I think
anymore.
it still is. I don't know. We haven't eaten out in so many years. I have no clue.
Yeah, and that's a hard fact, guys. If you guys are losing weight,
you just can't eat out.
You just can't. It sucks. I mean, I know people are like, well, you can go and, I mean, if you have to do damage control, you can get a baked potato.
But that is going to be boring. Like,
you know, but even the steamed vegetables are going to be like, oh yeah, we sprinkled grease in the bottom of the pan. You know, like, you know, it's really hard. You have to like lecture the cook on, I mean, just water, just steam it. Don't put anything on it. Like, I mean, you could do it, but usually a strategy is eat out first and then just kind of stick to like a baked potato or a side dish of veggies. The other way you can,
first.
Yeah, we eat at home and preload. And then if you do any sort of damage, you've at least preloaded and you're not going to eat a lot. But what'll happen, you'll notice, is after you clean your body out of oil, your body will revolt if you eat that stuff. Like,
no kidding.
You will be running to the bathroom.
You pay the price.
It'll be a photo finish to get to the toilet. And it's no joke. After your body doesn't have oil for so long, the reaction is violent.
I know there's a whole bunch of people out there that are like, healthy fats, healthy fats. Well, that's all well and good, but nowhere in nature are you going to find a puddle of oil to lap up, so oil is not separated from the food. Like,
right, we don't...
healthy fats are nuts and avocado and but you're eating all the fiber that goes with it.
Don't get us wrong, we love ourselves some nuts, and I would love to be eating them all the time, but they're not that great for weight loss. We don't lose weight eating that stuff. You have to be real careful with it. So, how are you going to find it in nature is the way to eat it? People be like, well, avocados or olives. Yeah, but you wouldn't live on avocados and olives in the wild. And it's been so genetically modified.
And avocados
don't look anything
are
like
fresh,
they used to.
But yeah, no, they're like huge
they're
and
like
fat.
Mutants now.
Because like a portion of avocado, like a serving size of avocado I think is like 1/8 of the avocado or 1/16. It's like a tiny little sliver. Nobody eats a tiny sliver because it's going to go to waste.
Right. And
once you cut that thing open, you are obligated to eat the whole thing.
If you got one, I don't know if you guys have this much memory, but if you got one in the early 80s or late 70s,
they're about a quarter of the size.
A quarter of the meat, right? And they'd be like, one avocado in your dish, and then, now that's 4 times the amount. So you got to be real careful. Again, if you're in shape and you're working out, or you just don't care about losing weight in any quick form, you can go ahead and have avocado, you can have olives, you can have nuts, but it will cripple your weight loss if you're very sensitive to putting on weight. And a lot of people that have to eat like this are at like a standstill. You look at food and you gain weight, And I feel that unless you've had that happen, there's a point what happens with your metabolism is the fatter you get, the actual more lipids spill into your blood, and it makes it harder to lose weight. And it's like a nasty cycle. The fatter you get, the slower the weight comes off. And so it can be kind of if you haven't been through it, you have to kind of be really food diligent and to take it all the way where you want to get it. Now, if you're like 100 pounds overweight, you could just change your diet a little bit and you will lose 50 pounds like nothing. Just
the elimination.
Yeah.
Like when I first switched over and went vegan, just cutting out, I think probably just the dairy alone.
Just the inflammation coming out of your body, you're going to dump a bunch of water away and you'll start losing weight pretty quickly. You don't have to be that diligent either. Like, you could eat an entire diet of as many potatoes and starch and pasta as you really wanted as long as you stayed off the oils. And you'll still lose weight if you're really overweight. But it will come to a point after you lose, say you're 100 pounds overweight, after you lose like 50 pounds, all of a sudden that weight won't come off as fast anymore. And you have to adjust your portion size because you're now eating for a smaller person. And you have to start doing 50-50 meals to get the scale to move. And it just becomes moving into a lot.
It's kind of a grind.
Yeah, it's moving into the calorie dense food that is, what do they say? It's a calorie dense food that's not high. Excuse me, I've got this backwards. High nutrient food that is low calories, what I'm trying to say, and I'm just not getting it right. But these things, I mean, look at this. You got a little rice wrap. It's mainly just a bunch of raw vegetables. The only thing with any sort of fat is that peanut butter powder, and it doesn't have much. We put in a tablespoon or two, a couple tablespoons, and we're splitting it. So I'm willing to make that sacrifice, some of these things. But if I got to a point where no weight was coming off anymore, then I would skip this sauce. You just got to make that adjustment to your goal. Do you have any advice?
Nope, just that.
All right, let's check these things out. One last warning, Lorelai wanted to give. Go ahead.
These are messy. You have to eat them right away, or they get kind of like weird, hard, because of the rice paper. But when you bite into them, it kind of goes everywhere. You don't want to be dressed nice when you eat these.
Yeah, think of a messy burrito.
Especially if you have kids. It's going to go all over the place, but they're really good.
One thing we do sometimes is put them in bowls and eat them.
Yeah.
To contain the aftermath. One other word of advice about the sauce.
So I don't dip these into the sauce because everything will fall out into your sauce. I take this little spoon and just drizzle some over the top and then take a bite. It's way better.
Just way smarter, because I dip it and make a huge mess, and it's like a 3-year-old ate when you came out.
Yeah, it's really bad.
It's ridiculous. So that's it for this. You can use this sauce for all kinds of things. It's just really good sauce, right?
It is really good
It's
sauce.
a good sauce. But this is pretty easy to make and fast.
And you can make it spicier or,
Yeah.
just
We're wimps
adjust to
about
taste.
heat, so we don't put much heat in anything and we cook. So feel free to throw your chilies in there.
Yeah, our kid just adds sriracha to everything.
Yeah, she's crazy. That's about it. If you want to check out our other recipes, please check out our playlist. There's a playlist here that'll take you some more recipes if you're looking for some new ideas and some fun. Also, we have a Telegram group where we answer questions and talk about recipes in there. So if you want to be cool and you want to nerd out with us about this, come on by. Just follow the link. Also put it in the comments if you're not a link person in the description. I don't know. Phones are weird. Sometimes it's hard to get to the description. I don't understand why that is. So fix it, YouTube. That's all I'm going to say. All right. We love you guys. If you're watching on BitChute, thank you for watching on BitChute. You guys are awesome over there, too.